I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, June the 30th, where we see some bottom side support here late in the week. And it's not that prices aren't still lower on the cash basis, but the board has been a little bit supportive here mid to late week, and we finally saw your cash prices stop free falling, which is a good sign going into the midsummer break here. But you look at your board there mid to late week, live cattle futures, Wednesday was up 60, Thursday was up 87 cents to end the day on Thursday at 116.50, which is really close to cash for the next traded month out. We've still got June to close up here late this month, and we're going to be moving to August as your spot month, but that's not much of a basis. You know, we've been running a $8 to $12 basis, but historically, August and December contracts usually run real tight with cash. I remember when we were taking deliveries, that was usually the big months that we would get them, was August and December. And a lot of times you'll have a negative basis as you get closer to that maturing. So we'll see if that happens or not. Feeder cattle futures, Wednesday was up $1.52 on the August. Thursday was up 77 to end the day on Thursday at 147.17. Now, talking about your fats, your June spot fat live cattle futures contract, which was going off there, was down a nickel at 120.20, which is real tight in there, which we knew it would come together to what cash market is. But after all that basis that we've seen all spring, we see it come together right there at the end like it's supposed to. But you look at all your contracts going down the line on live cattle futures, they're all real close to 115 until you get to next summer. Well, that doesn't bode too bad really for the way things are, because you know we're selling cattle in the high teens and 120 right here now. So you know, at least we're not looking down over the edge of a cliff like a lot of times we are going into the dog days of summer. But we may have already taken the brunt of the big loss, because we have seen a $20 loss here in the last couple 3 weeks. But you know, maybe we're starting to shore things up a little bit and we won't lose a whole lot more ground now. But you look at the fat trade that happened on Thursday, and you saw the Southern Plains, the Texas and Kansas feedlots sell at 119, which is really $3 to $4 lower than the bulk of last week. But we saw some trades at the end of last week which were really close to steady to that. So it's not horrible. Nebraska and Colorado traded some cattle from 118 to 120. They had a few dress sales at 189, which would be $3 to $6 lower. But actually those trades are a little bit off of them than what we saw on Wednesday, because we saw a little bit of trade there online and some direct trade in the country there on a dress basis that was a little bit better than that. But at least they got to sell some cattle here going in to the midsummer break out before the 4th of July, and all that purchasing for 4th of July has been long gone, and they've got plenty of cattle for next week. Going for the short holiday week, they've got plenty of cattle lined up for the following week as our market ready supplies are increasing now. We see that we're still current, but we're getting into some heavier supplies. You look at the actual slaughtered steer dressed weight for the week ending June the 17th, that come out 855 pounds, 8 pounds larger than the previous report. So we're getting into some heavier cattle now. But the one thing we saw in that actual report was that week it ended the 17th was the biggest steer and heifer slaughter that we've seen in 3 years. So then they've got plenty of meat, you know, lined up to sell here for the next few weeks going through the holiday and everything. But that's a good thing whenever we're seeing a big harvest there. That kind of keeps us going in the game and not getting behind on our marketing. Look at the slaughter this week through Thursday there, 467,000, which is 2,000 more than the previous week and 14,000 more than the same week a year ago. Real-time index on Beef Market Central for an 800-pound steer, 145.23, which was down 37 cents from Wednesday, but still up around $1 more than it closed for the end of last week. So really our yearling sales have been good, and we talked about that in recent visits, how strong the yearlings have continued to sell even through this down market that we've seen the last 2 or 3 weeks. But OKC West in El Reno, Oklahoma on Wednesday at 6,100 a head, mostly steady. So we're starting to see that as things wind down. Guys still buying cattle, but not really pushing the issue on anything. Pratt on Thursday just had 1,700 head. Feeder steers firmed $1 higher. Feeder heifers, they had some good loads there. They ran $4 to $7 higher than the previous week, but that's not really a fair test. But that firm to $1 higher would probably be pretty fair. I like the steers sold. But you look at an individual quote out of Pratt, Kansas there at 11:20 on Thursday morning. Had a 54 head load of 1,015 pound steers at 136.10. You look out east there, Bluegrass Stockyard South in Stanford, Kentucky, 9:30 in the morning on Thursday at 61 head of steers, weighed 840, 149 1/4. That's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.